a glimpse of an answer to the mystery. Each of the 14 authors took claim to this evidence box as if it were their own. In addition, Virginia Commonwealth University professor Tom DeHaven, who is the author of 18 books and a contributor to the New York Times Book Review, created a narrative that purports to explain the origin of these boxes. 15 authors in collaboration to unlock Chuck Scalen's dark puzzles. This is Chuck. One of the authors in particular seemed to be a natural fit to take on the daunting role of publication editor. This was Mariah Crawford. Mariah is a writer and an assistant professor at Virginia Commonwealth University, as well as a private investigator. So there you go. Right? Mariah's published works include short stories, a variety of nonfiction work, and a poem about semicolons. Her story in the Body of Evidence Project is number 8. Well, it might not be, we can get to it. But her story is titled Consumed in the year 1925. You can visit her website at mlcrawford.com. She will now tell us how the project proceeded from here and read a portion of Tom DeHaven's narrative to set the tone for the rest of the evening. Ladies and gentlemen, Mariah Crawford.
Hi, thank you all so much for coming. I'm going to talk to you briefly about Tom DeHaven. I had hoped to be up here to introduce him to you. He is unable to join us because of a family emergency. Tom is one of a really extraordinary number of talented people in this town. I completely love Richmond, and I'm blown away every time I realize how many amazing artists and authors and people of all kinds of talents we have here. And the building we're standing in is a great example of that. This is, for a town this size, this is really amazing. Tom has been teaching at VCU for more than 20 years. I met him myself about 10 years ago when I was taking some classes with him. Anybody who knows him knows that he's a really generous, encouraging, and inspiring professor to work with. Phil mentioned 18 books published. He's an expert on comics and Superman. One of his most recent books was about Superman's childhood or young adulthood, so fantastic book. So I'm going to go ahead and read his story for you. It is titled The Outlaw Man. When I first was appointed during the second Eisenhower administration, much fun was made of the fact that my name is Erwin Michael Dust, initials I.M. Dust. City historian. It's an unpaid position, which no doubt explains why, at age 94, I'm still ensconced here on the top floor of the main library in a small, windowless office that makes the mad clutter of the Collier brothers seem the epitome of feng shui. I have very few duties. Occasionally, infrequently, rarely, I'm asked to write up a brief account of a sweatshop fire or to identify neighborhoods where enclaves of Ashkenazi Jews resided during the 19th century, to commemorate some long-dead philanthropist, or to corroborate or refute popular local legends. Yes, Charles Dickens did lecture at our Lyceum in 1842, but no, the lollipop was not invented in the old Second Ward by a confectioner named Stotts de Groot. Sorry. I arrive each weekday morning between 9 and 10 o'clock, carrying a thermos of sweet tea and a packed lunch, then cane my way, carefully between precarious towers of obsolete train schedules and city directories, menus from vanished restaurants and playbills from demolished theaters, boxes of old faded photographs, and cartons of donated diaries. Then I sit at my desk, making myself available till the jot of 5. Ask me about our first electric trolley. Ask me about our first 10-watt radio station, our first television station, our great department stores, our Beaux-Arts balls, our newspapers, our race riots, our ball players, our bootleggers. Ask me about anything at all, goddammit. By my count, and I assure you it's an accurate count, accuracy is not just my vocation, it's my faith. I've had a mere 4 visitors and just 9 telephone queries so far this year. When I decide finally to pack it in, scarcely anyone will notice I'm gone, just as scarcely anyone for the past several decades has realized I'm still here. Mr. Dust? I hadn't heard him knock. Tall, slender, sandy-haired, a man in his late 40s carrying a hard-shelled weekender suitcase. Mr. Dust, I stopped him and rummaged through the heaped shambles on my desk, then plucked a newspaper clipping from between 2 bulging folders. I held it up so my visitor could see his own picture below the headline. developer vows to revive our city. You, I said, are Raymond Dollard, who's converted the Walker Locomotive Factory into a movie theater, the Schultz Dairy into condos, the Didio Hat Company into a dance club, and the former Chevrolet dealership into a French bistro. What can I do for you, Mr. Dollard? I'd like to show you something. When he peered around for a place to set his suitcase down, I used my cane to shove a column of garage calendars from my desk. Looking amused, he was already thinking now that I was a queer old duck. Dollard put the suitcase where I now was pointing, unsnapped the locks, and opened it. I'm hoping you can tell me what these things are, and if they might be, well, valuable. As soon as he turned the suitcase around, I laughed. Actually, I think I may have whooped in delighted surprise. You bought the old police headquarters. Condos? Rentals. But how did you... May I?